He's out there somewhere. But where? Stand by to fire on B5. Fire! Ahoy there, viewers. Today we're diving deep into the high-stake plastic peg action of Battleship. The only naval battle where no one gets wet and you can sink a cruiser from your own kitchen table. Born from the fog of war and sharpened by fierce competition, Battleship isn't just a game. It's a contest for tactical supremacy and, of course, bragging rights. Now, early versions of the game were pen and paper versions, and they came out in the early 1900s. The first of those commercially produced was called Salvo in 1931. But in 1967, Milton Bradley turned naval war into molded plastic perfection. Cue dramatic peg placement. And I don't know, there's something strangely satisfying about taking your red peg and putting it in your enemy's ship. It's like acupuncture, but with a vengeance. Segue to the dining room. Of course, we can't talk about popular games without talking about spin-offs. In 1973, Milton Bradley came out with Subsearch, which of course I also happen to have in my attic. Yes, there's a lot of stuff up there. But this game took things to the third dimension. Your battleships actually dropped depth charges on submarines. You plotted it on three-dimensional boards. You have something to determine whether your torpedoes were hits or misses. The only downside is it took almost as much time to set the game up as it did to play it. Battleship actually teaches the basic concepts of strategy, coordinates, and deduction, which comes in handy if you find yourself, I don't know, say happen to be on a battleship defending the planet Earth from attacking aliens. Which brings us to 2012 and the plot of the movie Battleship, inspired by the game. But of course, there had to be a version of the game inspired by the movie, one where one side got to play with alien ships instead of naval ships. Battleship was one of the first games to be produced as a computer game. Not thinking Windows or Apple here, thinking CompuColor Z80 in 1979. And like most of the things we've talked about so far, Battleship also has woven its way into pop culture.
B3.
You sunk my battleship.
And I mean, seriously, is there anything that hasn't shown up on an episode of The Simpsons? But perhaps the most unique interpretation of this game that I've ever seen took place on Amazon Prime show The Grand Tour. Presenters Richard Hammond and James May played a game of Battleship using two cranes, one red and one green, and 20 Riva vehicles as missiles. Their ships actually were cars ranging from campers to limousines to sedans. Last week we learned what the term knocking his block off was all about. But few phrases in gaming history rival the emotional devastation of "you sank my battleship." It's stronger than Yahtzee and more powerful than checkmate, but with an air of nautical dignity. So next time you hear someone yell E5, don't panic. It's not a secret code. It's just someone plotting maritime destruction in grid formation. Well, getting close to lunch now. So may your torpedoes fly true, your pegs be precise, and your battleships be well placed. We'll see you next time on Flashbacks and Fun Facts.